Hey guys, what is up? This is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and welcome back to another movie review. In today's movie review, I'm going to be reviewing the 2016 superhero film in the DCEU, and it's also the second movie in the DCEU after Man of Steel. And of course, this was also the first DCEU film I saw in theaters back in March 2016. And this review is on Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice is like, basically it's about, Batman and Superman, obviously, and fearing the actions of a godlike superhero left unchecked, Gotham City's formidable Valiant Batman takes on Metropolis's revered savior, Superman, while the world wrestles with what sort of hero it really needs. And of course, as we all know, this is the movie where Batman and Superman, we know the fight sequence between Batman versus Superman, and of course, both their moms have the same first name, so I remember seeing this movie in theaters back in 2016, like I said, back in March of 2016. I remember I went and saw this movie with my friends and my dad and Uncle Charles at a Cinemark theater. And I remember liking this movie at the time, and I can see why most people out there didn't really like this movie, and saying that this movie sucked in their opinion. And one flaw some people had with this movie is because of the fight sequence between Superman and Batman, because their moms had the same first name. And yeah, and of course I knew that for a long time, but in my opinion, I thought this was not a bad movie in my opinion. I mean, I liked it. And of course, I also had this Blu-ray for a really long time too, ever since I first got it. And my Blu-ray copy is the Ultimate Edition, which includes an extended cut with 30 more minutes. So that means the theatrical version of the movie is rated PG-13, while the Ultimate Edition is rated R. Probably because there are some scenes in the R-rated version where that had to be cut from the theatrical version to make it PG-13 instead of R-rated. But I thought the performances in this movie, I thought were pretty good in the film. I thought Ben Affleck's still an awesome Batman. He was an awesome Batman and pretty cool Batman. Henry Cavill was still pretty awesome as Superman, just like he was in the first installment of the DCU, Man of Steel. And it's kind of a shame that Henry Cavill's no longer playing he's no longer playing Superman ever since that mid-credits scene at the end of Black Adam. And all the other actors that were in this film, all the other people, it looked like they were doing a pretty solid job in this film, in my opinion. Holly Hunter was actually in the film too, and I thought she was good for the most part through once seeing the film. And Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I think Jeremy Irons I thought was pretty good. I thought he was a pretty solid Alfred in this film, Jeremy Irons. And yeah, the cast was good, and even the visuals I thought were very stunning too, and the action sequences are still good nonetheless. And Zack Snyder did a pretty solid job directing this film, the way he works, and he worked on the film during this Snyderverse. And this movie also came out a year before Justice League, and Zack Snyder was set to direct the 2017 Justice League, but then of course he had to leave the project because his daughter died during production of the film, and Joss Whedon took over, and then all the way up until 2021, the Snyder Cut was released on HBO Max, and yeah, you guys already get it, because the Snyder Cut is the real Justice League, not Joss Whedon's Justice League, and Because, I mean, if you haven't seen Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, but I'm sure some of you guys have, it's like how the ending, of course, how Superman dies at the end, and then a few specks of dirt rise from his coffin, and oh yeah, plus I almost forgot to mention another flaw people had with this film is Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. Because maybe most people were thinking that Jesse Eisenberg was not the perfect actor to play Lex Luthor. Because that was actually like Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. And I gotta say, guys, Jesse Eisenberg was not really that good as Lex Luthor. Because I've seen better Lex Luthor actors out there, like Gene Hackman and Kevin Spacey in the 2006 Superman Returns film. I do agree with some of you guys out there. Jesse Eisenberg was not really the perfect actor to play Lex Luthor, and plus this Lex Luthor in this movie had hair, because unlike the other Lex Luthors, this Lex Luthor had hair. Because it's like there's a difference. But then of course we actually do get. But then near the end of the film, we actually do get to see how Lex Luthor went to prison and he got his hair shaved off, like how he lost his hair. And yeah, so. But regardless, this movie I thought wasn't that bad of a second installment of the DCU, and this movie was also the very first DCU film that had Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and that's one positive I have with the film. But it's like Gal Gadot's introduction as Wonder Woman, like she was definitely an awesome Wonder Woman, just like a year later in the 2017 Wonder Woman film. And yeah, it's like this movie did have some positives, while at the same time a few flaws here and there. But and like I said, I remember liking this movie at the time it came out, and when I saw this movie in theaters, and of course all the way up until now, like I never really got around into reviewing this film. Since 2016 was the year I started doing movie reviews on this channel, and yeah. The best way I can describe this film is it's just a solid enough good time, like a solid enough movie for the theatrical version. Because I actually never watched the Ultimate Edition, but I think I did some research on the Ultimate Edition with the scenes that weren't included in the theatrical version. Because while the theatrical version is rated PG-13 for intense sequences of violence and action throughout, and some sensuality, whatever you want to pronounce that. The R-rated version, the Ultimate Edition that's R-rated, includes sequences of violence. So maybe the R-rated version includes more violence than the PG-13 theatrical version had. Yeah. But yeah. So overall, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice was a pretty good movie, and I'm gonna give Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice 3.5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, because I didn't really mind this movie, in my opinion. 3.5 out of 5 for me. So yeah, now I officially reviewed every single DCU film. Yeah, including both the Joss Whedon Justice League and, of course, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now I officially reviewed every DCU film. So there you have it. All right, guys. So that's gonna be it for this. Review. So hope you guys liked it. And with that being said, thanks for watching as always. And if you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. And make sure to like this video as well. With that being said, until next time, this is Mr. A. Crizzy saying goodbye, everybody, and that's about it.